what do we got here? This is the book that's for the project. I still haven't sent it out to get graded yet. This is the one with the stains, probably grease. You know, Polish guy was probably just eating dinner one day and reading the book at the same time, and got grease all over it. This is what you're probably going to be expecting from most of these. Sometimes I feel I'm the only one buying these up for now, and that's fine with me. I mean, I'll keep buying them if they keep coming up. They're very rare though. I look for these all the time, and I can only find them so far on eBay. I'm sure you could probably see them on Instagram if you have Instagram, but as you all know, I do not have Instagram. Just bought this one, so this one looks a lot better than the Grail project one, but I would say that Grail project is probably going to be 3.5 to 4.0 maybe. This one here though, very respectable. I could see this hitting a 6. Why not? Might even go higher than a 6. Once I definitely going to Mr. Kenra for sure. And of course I got the first appearance of The Witcher again, so I got 2 new ones. Witcher comics are going to be coming, I'm hoping this coming week, but more than likely it'll be next week, is when they're already getting graded. They're moving so slow with that, man, but I should have 13 Witcher books here either by the end of this week or hopefully early the following week, hopefully by the end of this week. So I wanted to talk about investing in comics just a little bit, right? I'll do a better video. So why do I go after books like this, let's say, right? And what do I, unlike other people in YouTube that you guys see, like say a guy like ETA Nick, right? Or and not only that, but I've heard many guys talk about it. It's like, you know what? When you die, you can't take it with you, and that's what that's an adage that people say. You can't take this with you. Yeah, no, you can't. You can't take this book with you. But if you got $10 million in the bank, you ain't taking that with you either, my man. You ain't taking none of that. Nothing that you possess, you're taking with you when you die. But as you would with whatever money that you have in a bank or in a trust fund or in a 401k or a IRA or a 529, that money, or even gold or silver or I don't know, name any type of currency, including digital currency. You ain't taking none of that with you. Nothing. None of that you're taking with you. So that adage, that old adage, doesn't go with me. It doesn't fly with me, right? I'm a comic book collector, and I name myself a spec collector because I also speculate. That's my well, you know what, that's not so much speculation right there, but there's a lot of speculation here, and there's a lot of speculation here. This is all speculation. Actually, this is all being sold to my comic shop. But what I'm saying is this right here is a Grail. Just bought this Grail not too long ago. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I want to keep 2 of these in the 9s. Obviously, I have one already. That's the ultimate Grail because I got a 9.8 on this. But I want to have at least a second one in the 9s. I don't know that this one's going to make it, but I think I got a shot at a 9.0 with this. Maybe. We'll see. But the way that I think about collecting is this, right? There are books that are going to stay in my collection no matter what, because I can pass them to my family, right? Much like you would 401k or money that you have saved. You can have a trust and name beneficiary for that trust. Well, you could also name a beneficiary for your collection. You can leave this to your kids when you die. You ain't taking none of that with you, right? And as long as you educate them with what to do with the money, even if you have, they can turn this into solid cash, right? This is an ATM. You can go out and you can sell this. You could teach them how to sell it, where to sell it, and what they decide to do with it on their end. Obviously, I'm not going to care because I'll be dead, right? But that's the way that I kind of look at collecting. Now, there are books that when I look at a character and I say I have to have that character, like everybody's different, right? Comic Tom talks a lot about the Young Avengers. Young Avengers, in my estimation, I think that a guy like Comic Tom is sitting on probably 100 Young Avengers #1s. They're probably, I don't know. This is just what I think anyway, not what it is or not or whatever. But for me, I have to particularly love the character. If it's going to stay on my collection, I have to either love the character or there has to be something special about that book if it's going to stay in my PC, right? The Hobgoblin is a book that has to stay in my PC. Luckily, I ended up getting 3 9/8 in my last submission. It was imperative for me to get 9/8. That's the reason why I kept sending these in. That's the reason why I sent like 50 of these in, because I wanted the 9/8. Finally got 3 of them. I'm letting 1 of them go, because you got to feed the hobby, right? I gotta be able to get a book like this and gamble on a book like this. You've seen me get these books how many times already, right? I love the way that old book smell. Man, this is a book from 1973 and it smells like it's from 1973, and I love it. I love that smell. See that right there? That's the guy that started everything that you know about Marvel movies right now. It's because of that guy right there. And I've said it before, but this guy, Wesley Snipes, when he played him, right, it proved that Marvel had value in their intellectual properties, right? Because that movie, they spent nothing on it. And as far as the spending budget they used for that, less than $100 million. I think it was like $20 million or something like that they used for that movie. To this day, that's still a classic, right? And because of that, they were able to, license the rest of the characters out. Bad ideas for Marvel, at the time, but they were going bankrupt, so licensed them out to Sony and Universal, and of course Disney later became interested in the properties because there was value. They love money. Yeah, and you know, the rest of it, I mean, it's pretty much history. I think eventually Disney is going to end up with all these characters. More than likely, they're going to end up buying Spider-Man eventually off of Sony. All of it, all of Spider-Man is probably going to belong to them. They are a giant blue chip company that it's almost inevitable that they're going to get all of Marvel's properties, in my opinion. So I'm going to probably talk about that more in depth maybe later, but more or less, all I'm trying to say is when I look to keep a character, is I look to see first, do I love the character? And second, does the character have legs? Because if I love the character, I know other people will love it. But can that character surpass the level that character is at the current time when I found him or her? Right? A book like this, in order to make that determination, you need to read the book. You need to see if you really like this character or not, right? I believe this is one of those characters. I do believe it, and you guys have seen me go hard after this book, in different books, by the way. All right, so these are books I'm sending out to go and get graded, regraded. Some of them re-slabbed and pressed and cleaned. Now these, I don't know that you can clean them, but I'm going to put a note on them. These are the 3 9.6s that I got back. And what I want to do with these is I'm going to put a note on them, is if they can't press them, which I'm pretty sure they can't because of the foil, I want them cleaned. I did see a fingerprint in one of them in the back, and I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it. I don't know which one it is, but anyway, I did see a fingerprint in one of them in the back. It's a black cover, and I think that one, once they clean that fingerprint off, will be a 9.8. I don't see any structural damage in all 3 of them. So if I can get 2 of the 3 9.8s, I'm going to be paying about around, we already kind of know the calculations of press, clean, and regrade. It's right around $33 with shipping included to CGC, right? So if I can get 2 out of 3, or even 1 out of 3, because this is going to cost me, you're looking at 33 each times 3, so it's $100, right? If one of them turns into 9.8, it's well worth it. Well worth it. This book is starting to take off. Definitely going for over $300 now in a 9.8. The 9.6 goes for probably, I'm assuming you can go for $250, maybe $200. But I want 9.8. Right, and then I'm sending these out. These are the newsstands, and only because I think they're starting to get legs, right? I saw Lords of the Long Box, and they were talking about how they contacted Comic-Con, and Comic-Con said, oh, there's probably around 200,000 of these in newsstand. Well, just count them. Go on eBay and count them, you know, and see how many you see. Just put Amazing 365, period. That's it. And everything that's Amazing 365 is going to come up. If you're like me, you're going to count, because I'm crazy like that. You're going to count every single listing. Yes, there's a ton of these books, I did a video on this book, and we found that in here they printed almost 1 million of them. There's 1 million of 365s. What I don't see much is the newsstand. So I guesstimated that the newsstand is probably around 9.8% on the newsstand. In the condition of 9s and above, especially in the 9.8, which has evaded me, this book is super rare. You know how rare a 9.8 is in this? 2 9.8s have sold in the past month for over $1,000 on eBay, and no more have been listed. I did not check today though, but no more have been listed. You know what that tells you? There's not too many out there. There's not too many out there. Once you get a listing in over $1,000 in this book that was, selling for $200, just months ago, and they still haven't come out with a 9.8, another 9.8 in a newsstand. There's not that many out there. These books, I'm guessing, just count them on eBay. I guarantee you, for every 10 or even 20 that you see in direct, you're going to find one newsstand. Guarantee it. Just count it. And the newsstands are, a lot of people are listing them now because they're starting to be worth something. But look at the condition that they're in. And more than likely, you're going to see them in probably in the 8s or less. 9s, maybe 9.0s and 9.2s. But once you start going above that, and that's why I'm sending 2 of these, right? I'm sending 2 of my best 292s because I think they have a capacity to reach. One of them has a capacity, I think, to reach a 9.8, but I don't think so. I don't think it will. They're too hard to do. It's like, but if I can get a 9.6 out of one of them, great. So this is my pressing file. So I'm sending 2 different here. These three are going to be pre-screens, and this is Grail project books. I think all of them are Grail project books. So we have the 4 Venom 27 scan versions, 4 Unkindness of Ravens, the Frizen variants. We have Venom 27, 3 Venom 27 1 in 100 variants. Yes, only 3 because the 4th one needed a pressing. That's going in this lot. We only find them when they're dead. I bought 5, only 4. 2 of them for sure I think will hit 9.8. The other 2, taking a chance, but I'm sending them in. Harley Quinn 75. Don't. I don't know why I bought 2 of them. You know why I bought it? I bought it because I love the cover. That's why I bought it. But this one should be a 9.8. The other one, a little bit damaged. Oh, this is the Unkindness of Ravens. This is the one that I didn't send. The 5th one. I didn't send it because of that. Come on, right there. There's no way. Right there. There's no way that's going to be a 9.8. No way. That breaks color. I mean, if you press it, you can press that out. But what a beautiful cover. So I'm just going to keep this. Hope for 3 out of the 4 to come back as 9.8s. Hopefully. we'll see. And then these are the other ones these are the ones that are going to get pressed. The 10 Venom 26s, incentive variants, the Boys number 7 sketch. That's only 6,000 of them. This is a first Stormfront, also the first Tech Knight. Venom 27 incentive variants. Actually the one that didn't of the 4 that didn't that I don't think would make the 9.8. I'm sending that Harley Quinn 75 to get pressed. It's probably gonna be a loss, but I don't want to. It'll probably come back as a 9.4 or 9.6 really, even after the pressing. It'll probably be a loss, but we'll see. Something's Killing the Children, NYCC Virgin. So far, that's been going for more than the foil. And the foil is only 300. That one's 500. And let me see. We're gonna go with. Let me see. Oh yeah, Ultimate Fallout. This is a Shelley 2nd print. TNMT 4th print. A Blue Marvel 2, 3, and 2 number 4s are going to be pressed and cleaned. So, a lot of moderns in here. But I'm not doing so great with these moderns, man. With the Grail Project moderns, not doing so great with them. But this is how you feed the hobby. So when I go out and buy a book like this, it's funny that 2 books that I have from Tomb of Dracula, my most expensive book that I have right now, I only paid $100 for, and then another one that I got in an 8.0, I think I paid $10 for. This one, I paid almost $1,000 for this. Almost $1,000. And I would do it again. I would do it again. But this is why you could do it, because you have to sell. You have to sell. You can, I mean, unless you got a ton of money, but I don't. So I have to sell, and I have to pick what to sell. I'm just going to take, so I'm selling some that are not going to be too expensive, but I'm going to make a little bit of money on, right? Some of them I'm going to make a lot of money on, not that one. And some of them that I don't really want to sell, like this one. Oh, come on, where you at here? Come on, buddy. That one. I don't want to sell that. I'm barely gonna, if I'm lucky, barely gonna wet my beak on that. And I don't want to sell it because that character, Codex, is so far, even up to Venom number 30, he's involved in the storyline. So what happened with the Black Winter was that as of right now, he killed them off kind of quick, too quick, you know. In comics, though, deaths, you know, you got to take them with a grain of salt there. Gore was dead, and his book was dead for a while, up until they came back up with him, and now they're making a big story with him. And look at his books. His books are going through the roof, right? And they brought him back. He's no longer dead. Right? He was no longer dead. He came back for another story run, and he's probably going to be back again. So his books are going crazy, right? Same thing can happen with the Black Winter. Black Winter almost reminds me of the back in the, was it the 80s or early 90s? Jim Starlin came out with Cosmic Odyssey. Great storyline if you guys want to read it. Cosmic Odyssey is 4 books, him and Mike Mignola, and he introduced the sorry guys, I tried looking for the book but I can't find it. The Anti-Life Equation. The Anti-Life Equation. So that's what the Black Winter kind of reminds me of. Black Winter is an entity. He's not an actual being. He's an entity. And Thor killed, it seemed like he killed the Black Winter, but who knows? It might have been a portion of the entity. Kind of like what happened in Cosmic Odyssey with Starlin. And it looks like Cates is a big Starlin fan, in my opinion. I don't think he's ever said that, but a lot of what he's writing, it's almost like I'm rereading Jim Starlin. A lot of the ideas he's taking from some of Starlin's stories, which is fine. I mean, he's just evolving them, right? But Jim Starlin was, man, that guy was the man. That guy was awesome. He was one of the greatest writers that ever lived. So here's some big books that I'm sending in. Amazing Spider-Man 238, 9.6, and of course you guys saw the 9.8 that I'm gonna send. And that one I'm not gonna do so well on, but I'm finally sending this book in. Didn't want to do it, but I gotta do it. This is the direct edition though. When I bought the newsstand, I said, you know what, I'm gonna sell this one and buy the newsstand. It just so happens that this book has took off since then, and so has the newsstand, and that's kind of lucky. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell it because I have to. I have to pay for a lot of this with stuff like this. This is a book I don't want to sell. I sold a 9.8, I said before, but I don't want to sell this book because I got a feeling the Rogue, I think Rogue is going to become big once the movie comes out. That's another thing. It's like I try not to collect the character based on a movie. Instead, I try to move books based on movies. I don't know if that makes any sense. Alright, but I don't look to buy a character because, Kang is rumored to be in the next Avengers, so let me go and get Kang. Well, Kang to me, maybe not to you, but I'm pretty sure maybe not to you. Kang to me was never a great villain. I'm sorry, to me he just wasn't. He's no Doctor Doom. When I think of Kang, I mean, what great storyline do you think about when you think of Kang? Which one? Name it. I can't think of one, right? But when I think of Doom, I can give you at least 5, right? When I think of a character like Ra's al Ghul, I can name, when I think of, great characters, the Joker, right? Kang. I mean, I can think of better stories with Dr. Octopus that I can of Kang, But what I'm saying is, I don't go after a character because of the movie. I go after a character because I love the character. So Thanos is an all-time great character, one of the best villains ever. In my opinion, the best villain ever. Almost every storyline that guy is in is classic. Almost every single one. It's starting with the first one with the Cosmic Cube, right? but yet his books have dipped, and this is the times when the savvy investors or collectors go after books like that, right? But anyway, I think I dragged this way too long. One day I'm gonna make a much better video about investing in comics, but I'll be a lot more prepared for that one, you know. But anyway, this is just, these are all going to my comic shop. Again, my comic shop, if you ever buy a book, if you ever see a book on eBay that says my comic shop, don't buy it on eBay, especially if they're very expensive. If it's a book like this, don't buy it on eBay. Buy it in my comic shop, because you'll pay a lot less for it in my comic shop than you would on eBay. All right. And that goes almost for any store-based auction that's on eBay. You can go to their store online, and more than likely it'll be less expensive there than on eBay, and it'll cost you probably less shipping too. All right, guys. Later.